I had a hard time sleeping last night. In fact, it's early Friday morning as I record this right now. And I stayed up late and I watched the news and I was on social media and I read all of the reports and all the stories of what's going on in the metro area that I live in right now. I live just east of everything that took place, and it was hard to watch as the community that I live in is getting rocked. Absolutely rocked. And as I said yesterday in this Devo, there are no words. I don't know exactly what to say, and yet Scripture provides us words. And today, Proverbs has words for us. In Proverbs chapter 29, it speaks to what's going on in our world today. But here's something that we have to be very careful with. As we read Scripture, one of the things that we have to make sure we do is we take our context out of the situation, that we understand the context that this was written in, and then put our context back into the situation. We have to decontextualize. We have to make sure that we're not reading it with our eyes, we're not reading it with our thoughts, that we're reading it the way that it was written for the audience it was intended for. And then we put our situation in it to hear what it is that is being spoken to us. So let's make sure we decontextualize. Solomon wasn't from America. Solomon isn't American. He's not Western. When he wrote this, there was no such thing as the United States. Solomon didn't speak English. He wrote this in a language that most of us can't read or understand. Solomon was Middle Eastern, coming from a completely different context in a whole nother world, writing what he wrote that we're reading today. And yet, he spoke words of wisdom that through God's power transcend all time. Let's put our context back into the situation now. We do live in America. We are American, all of us. We speak English, and we are living in a time that is tumultuous, that's scary, that's crazy, and yet a time where true justice will be served. Maybe not in the lifetime that we live, but at some point it will be. And that's what Solomon is speaking to today. He's speaking about justice. Justice that we should all want, justice that we should all strive for, justice that we should be a part of because we are watching our world, our country, our people get destroyed and destroy each other. We must care about it. But we have to heed words of wisdom and understand what God is saying to us today from the context that he wrote it, from Solomon's context to our day, so that we can apply it to our lives. So Solomon has this to say for us. Thousands of years ago, from the Middle East to a group of Americans who need to listen today. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Mockers stir up a city, but the wise turn away anger. Mockers stir up a city, but the wise turn away anger. Fools give vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. If a king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever. Those verses are out of Proverbs 29, 7 through 8, 11, and 14. I don't think it's a mistake that we're reading Proverbs to get to this point today to read these verses in the middle of what's going on in the city that I live in. It's hard not to see this and go, whoa, Lord, no way. I don't think this is a coincidence. These verses just didn't show up on this page today for us to listen to for no reason whatsoever. We have to act, but it has to be with wisdom. Let me read these again. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Mockers stir up a city, but the wise turn away anger. Fools give vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. If a king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. We as righteous people must care about the poor, must care about those that aren't being served, must care about the people around us that are not seeing justice. The wicked are the ones that have no concern for justice. Mockers stir up a city, but the wise turn away anger. We must turn away anger. We cannot allow this to continue. We can't be stirring up our cities. Fools give vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. We have to seek peace. If a king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever. We must be a people that's fair. When we do that, our kingdom will be established forever. Solomon was a wise man, but he was speaking ultimately of something that would come. See, there would be a king that would come in his vein, in his lineage, in his line. Through Solomon came a king that judged the poor fairly, that was calm all the way to the end, that did not stir up a city, did not mock people, and cared about justice for the poor. His name was Jesus. We must be like him. The Bible tells us that his kingdom has been established forever, and that someday true justice will be brought. We look forward to that day. There is a day that as believers in Jesus Christ, we have a promise that Jesus will return and justice will reign for all eternity. But until that day, we live in a world that's broken. We live in a world that's struggling. We live in a world that needs this message. So let's be the ones that give it to them. And then let's be the ones to live it out. Let's be the ones to change. Let's be the ones that truly do this. Care about justice. Turn away anger. Bring peace and calm. And judge with fairness so that our legacy will be established forever. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. But we must start now. Let's be the people that do it. Have a great day. This is a weekend coming up tomorrow and Sunday. Go to church, find a church, worship, lament, praise. Be with the people of God this weekend. Pray that this city is healed, that our nation is healed, and that God is seen. And finish Proverbs, 2 days left, and I'll see you back here on Monday.